Hello, Princess on a Pillow here. I am here to do my review on Love During Lockup, Season 3, Episode 65. The title is Lost in Love. Well, that could be the title for every single episode, so whatever. Let's get started. The first couple we're talking about is Indy and Harry. Okay, Indy is telling her mother and brother that she is going to meet with Harry's sister. Um, and I know that Indy is a makeup artist, but her lashes look ridiculous. Anyway, Indy gets to Harry's sister's apartment and they meet each other, they hug, and Indy comes in, she sits down, and Indy is telling Harry's sister how her psychic predicted that Harry was going to get out of prison early, and that her psychic told her that she should go to Ohio. Harry's sister Lydia told the camera that she does not care for psychics and she's not taking life advice from a psychic. Lydia told Indy that it's not realistic to come to Ohio with Harry in the halfway house. And no one knows when he's coming out of the halfway house. Indy says in her confessional that she is hoping that Harry's family takes on the role that her family takes on, which is ridiculous. That's not your family, Indy. Why would they do that? And didn't Harry tell her that he doesn't get along with his family like that? He told her that. I don't understand Indy. I think she lives in La La Land. Indy asks Lydia how much is her one-bedroom apartment. And Lydia told Indy that her apartment is $590. I live in Maryland, and before I bought my condo, hear on me? Before I bought my condo, I was in a one-bedroom apartment, and I paid over $1,300 for my one-bedroom apartment. Sure, it was nicer than Lydia's place, but it wasn't that nice to cost $1,300, over $1,300. That's why I just decided to buy my own condo. Now my mortgage is less than my rent for the apartment was. So anyway, Indy said that's good, and she'll get a one-bedroom apartment until she gets a job because she's burning through her savings. She's a makeup artist or so she should be able to get a job at any salon. Lydia told the camera that Indy is sweet, but she's a bit much. Lydia asked Indy what was her plans with Harry. Indy told her that they talked about marriage, and Lydia laughed. Then India told Lydia that they talked about having kids, and Lydia is shocked. Lydia told the camera that she thinks India is a little crazy. And I think she needs to take the word little out of that statement. Indy is crazy. Indy asked Lydia if she knew why Harry was going to a halfway house. And Lydia said she didn't know. Indy told Lydia that Harry has a tattoo of her and her daughters. Indy told the sister not to tell the mother until after she meets the mother. What difference does that make? He says he don't get along with his mother anyway. And Lydia is scared for her brother. Shouldn't it be the other way around? Shouldn't they be scared for Indy? But I think she thinks Indy is just too crazy for her brother, and she's worried now about her brother. And Indy thinks that the visit with the sister went great. She's so delusional. Next, we see Indy's mother and brother driving around in the U-Haul van. They're using this U-Haul van like it's their personal vehicle. They're going to go meet up with a detective, a retired detective named Sam. But they meet up with a retired detective named Sam, who tells them all about Harry's crimes. Sam said Harry and another guy attacked the victim from behind, threw him to the ground, held a gun to his head, and forced the victim to an ATM machine to withdraw money. The victim got away and they chased him. Someone intervened, and that's how the victim was able to get away. Someone intervened and helped the victim, and that's how the victim was able to get away. And Sam tells them also that they will be able to tell if Harry is in a gang called Heartless Felons if they see a heart tattoo around his neck area. Next scene is we see Indy's mother and brother driving around again in the U-Haul. They're using this U-Haul like it's their personal vehicle. They go to the area where Harry's crime took place, and they call Indy to meet them there. They want to walk Indy through what really happened. So Indy shows up, and they reenact Harry's robbery / kidnapping, and they're treating Indy like she's the victim because they want her to know what it feels like, what that victim felt like when Harry robbed him and kidnapped him. And I guess the kidnapping is because they forced him to go where he didn't want to go, and that's considered kidnapping. I thought he took somebody and locked them up in a basement and tortured them or starved them for days. That's what I thought. When I think kidnapping, that's what my mind automatically went to. Anyway, Indy tells them that she already knows what happened. And she gets into her car and drive off. In her confessional, Indy says a lot of people get robbed. She said she's been robbed. So she already knows what it feels like, and she doesn't need anybody to reenact anything for her. I just hope for her sake and her daughter's sake that Harry is reformed. That's the end of Indy and Harry. Next is Tai and Hottie. Tai is waiting in the salon for Boston to show up, and Tai gets scared and nervous. She doesn't know what might happen with Boston, so she leaves, and she says she'll set up another meeting with Boston. I think Hottie's cousin is very, very good friends with Boston. She had her number in her phone. The way she's talking to her, the way she talked to her over the phone, like, girl, why you do that to her? Why you, and she want to meet up with you, girl. And then when she came to the salon, she's talking to her like she knew her. So the cousin is messy. Just like Hottie, the cousin is messy. I think the cousin is the pimp for Hottie. She gets girls for Hottie, and these girls send Hottie money. Yeah, I think that the cousin is no good. She's no good. Okay, so Tai says in her confessional that she's been arrested in the past for acts of violence. She needs to quit because she has 3 kids. She's too grown for that. I mean, damn. I wish, and she's a good-looking girl. Get a life. Stop messing with these inmates. What the hell's wrong with you? So after Tai leaves the salon, Boston pulls up. And Boston says Hottie and her have been dating for 12 years. That's the only thing they seem to get right. Hottie used to date for 12 years. I don't know. And she said they're exclusive. She said he is her best friend, her partner, and her soulmate. She said Hottie is not Tai's man, and she talks to him every day. So she talks to Hottie every day. She said Tai is being used. And if Hottie is Boston's man, how come he went on Facebook Live and left a detailed message saying that he was using Boston for her stimulus check and that Tai is really his woman? It's just too confusing for me. The cousin asked Boston why did she post Tai's nudes, and Boston said to get a reaction out of Tai and to get back at Tai. What are you getting back at Tai for? Tai didn't do nothing for you. If you want to get back at somebody, get back at Hottie. What did Tai do to you? Tai didn't even know you exist, Boston. So how are you getting back at her? She did nothing to you. Doesn't make any sense. She wants to embarrass Tai, so Tai will say, oh, I'm done with Hottie now. How come she got access to my nudes? I'm done with. That's why she did it. Not to get back at her, to embarrass her and to show that, I have access to everything that Hottie has access to, and I can get access to stuff, and we're really closer than you think. That's why she did it. She's full of crap. And the cousin asks, how did she get Ty's nudes? And Boston said she has Hottie's password to his inbox, and she's in his inbox just about every day. The cousin said that she thinks Hottie is playing both Ty and Boston. They already know that, cousin. The cousin already know that. She's the one that set up these girls for Hottie. Get out of here, cousin, trying to act innocent. You ain't innocent. You are the culprit. You know what's going on. Boston said she is not going anywhere, and she is number one. And yes, I think Hottie is playing both of them. These are two grown men. They're making a felon disrupt their lives. I can't believe this. Well, that's the end of Hottie and Tai. Next up is Santiba and Telsey. I cannot ever pronounce these two names right. So if I mess them up, I'm going to mess them up. Okay? All right. Santiba is home with a friend, and she's waiting for Telsey to call her. Santiba said it's her last night for her and Telsey email sex test for them to sex texting because Telsey is getting out in 2 weeks. Santiba says she pays Telsey $10 extra to talk dirty to her. Why don't you just call a dirty hotline? Why call him? Anyway, I don't know. Anywho, Santiba says email sex is when they tell each other what they like, how they like it, and what they want to do to each other. She said the only problem is the guards has to read it. So Santiba is hanging out with her friends, and there's some kind of like bar, restaurant. They're having drinks. And Santiba has not heard from Telsey in 2 days. And she's getting nervous. Santiba tells her friends that she plans to move to Georgia. She said once Telsey gets out and goes to the halfway house and then moves in with his mother, then Santiba will move to Georgia and get a place. That's the plan. One of her friends said, what if you hate Georgia? And Santiba said, well, she'll just hate Georgia with Telsey. Telsey's mother and Santiba, they message each other a lot. That's what Santiba says. Santiba says his mother is a great woman, and she can't wait to meet his mother and his daughters. Her friend asked, how does she know that Telsey is not texting other bitches? Santiba says she doesn't know that, but it's a risk she's taking. Santiba says she knows that Telsey loves her. She says they talk a lot and they know a lot about each other. The friend said, are you sure it's love and not lust? Santiba told her it's both. Next we see Santiba. She's packing to go to Florida. I guess to pick up Telsey from the jail. And she's packing and she has the tags on the clothes, still on the clothes. Maybe she plans on wearing the clothes and taking it back to the store. I don't know. Why is the clothes still have the tags on it? Anywho, Santiba said when Telsey meets her, he's going to fall in love with her and never leave her. I thought she said he was already in love with her. Anywho, she said the next day she's going to go pick up Telsey. She says she has to drive him 5 hours to Georgia to a halfway house. And she said she has everything planned. She has her plane ticket. She has a rented car all set and ready to go. And she has a hotel room all ready to go. While she's in her confessional, Telsey calls. Telsey says to her that he talked with his case manager and there's a problem with his paperwork. And he says he's not getting out. I think Telsey is lying. I think Telsey does not want her to come pick him up from the prison because he already has someone picking him up from the prison. That's what I think is happening with Telsey. So he's lying to her, telling her, oh, I'm not getting out, to make her not come pick him up. Then they start talking about having sex on the road to the halfway house after she picks him up, when he finally does get out. And the phone gets cut off. Thank God, because I don't want to hear that. I did not want to hear them talk, their sex talk. And that's the end of Telsey and Santiba. Next up is Haley and Dalton. We see Haley driving. She gets a call from her attorney assistant. The attorney wants Haley to come to the office. Haley gets to the attorney's office, and basically the attorney has been investigating Dalton, and he found out that Dalton has an ex-girlfriend that got herself in some trouble, and she owes fines. The attorney says that if the ex has unpaid fines, when she goes to court, she will go to jail. Now, the attorney says, recently, Dalton has asked Haley for $500. I guess he knows because the money goes through him, because he gets the, I don't know, maybe she gets some of the money, he has to hold on to some of her money, I don't know. But he found out that Dalton requested $500 recently from Haley. And he said the ex-girlfriend owes about $500 in fines. The attorney said that it's his firm belief that Dalton asked Haley for money so that he could give it to his ex-girlfriend. Haley said that really pisses her off. Haley said that she spent more money on Dalton than she does on her own child. Guess what? That's your fault, Haley. Nobody put a gun to your head and told you to give him money. He asked for it, you say no. That's what you're supposed to do. Not give it to him. Not spend more money on him than you do on your own child. She doesn't even have a place to live. She's living with her father. She just put money down on a trailer. But she's spending money on Dalton. And she spent more money on Dalton than she put down on this trailer. Anyway, Haley starts to cry. She said she wasted money on him and an entire car. So what does that mean? Does that mean she bought him a car? Why would she buy him a car? He's in jail. He can't drive. And he's going to be in there for 6, 7, 8 years or something like that. Why? I don't understand why when she said that, what she meant. She said all she is an ATM. Yeah, that's all you are. Is an ATM to him. Regardless if he's giving her, his ex-girlfriend, money. Because you've given him so much money already. How much did she say she's giving him? She said she gave him like $1,200? No. I don't know how much she said she gave him. But she gave him quite a chunk of change. Haley says she feels like an idiot. You are an idiot, Haley, if you're spending so much money on this man who's in jail. If he's in jail, he doesn't need money. And if he needs money, maybe he needs money to make phone calls, but not thousands of dollars that you've been giving him. But anyway, I don't think she's going to give up Dalton, and I don't think she's going to stop sending him money. That's the end of Haley and Dalton. Now we're on to Max and Tara. Are they the last couple? No, they're not the last couple. Okay, Max and Tara. So Max is trying to iron a shirt without the iron being plugged in. He doesn't know how electricity works? I guess not. He says he has a date. He said Alyssa kicked him out, but I thought that was his house. I thought that was his house, and he was letting Alyssa stay with him. Come to find out, that's not his house. She kicked him out, and now he's staying with his friend. So he doesn't have a place to live. He's a porn star. I mean, a porn person. Doesn't he have money? And he gets money from, what do you call that place? That thing that he does. Fan only? Instant fan only, whatever. I don't know what you call that thing. I forget. Instant fans, is it called? Where you do nasty stuff, take off your clothes, have sex, show body parts. Fans only. Is it fans only? I think it's fans only. Whatever it is. Don't he get money from that? How come he doesn't have a place? Can't he afford to even buy a little studio place, apartment for himself? He's just going. He's a vagabond. He's like Steve from Married at First Sight. He's just jumping from place to place. He has no home. Anywho, Max said he met a girl named Leslie on Tinder. Max is a nincompoop. He's a total nincompoop. Yeah. For people out there that don't know what a nincompoop is, let's ask Alexa. Alexa, what is a nincompoop?
Nincompoop is a noun meaning a fool or simpleton.
He's a nincompoop. A nincompoop is a simpleton or a fool. Because he's dating inmates. He's dating people on Tinder. He doesn't have his priorities straight because he has no place to stay. That means he has no furniture. That means he has nothing. What was going on with him? He has nowhere to live. So that means anyway, I don't know. He can't even iron a shirt. He ends up burning the shirt and had to put on another shirt. And even though he's getting ready for this date with Leslie, he's still thinking about Tara. So his friend tells him to forget about Tara. So after he gets dressed, his phone rings. And it's Tara. And Tara told Max that she's been out for 17 days. And she's been thinking about him. He told her that he was hurt when she ghosted him. And she apologizes and said it had nothing to do with him. It was insecurities on her end. So you know what? I think Tara has gained a lot of weight and she's insecure about her body. That's what I think is happening with Tara. What else? Max says he accepts Tara's apology. Max asks Tara what is the toughest thing about being out. And Tara tells him that she has anxiety. And the typical male, sorry males out there, but Max is a typical male. He says, the best thing for anxiety is a massage. All he cares about is touching her, putting his hands on her. He doesn't ask her, so what do you have anxiety about? Do you have anxiety about messing up and going back to jail? Or do you have anxiety about hanging around the same people or getting a job or functioning in society? He doesn't ask her why she has anxiety. He wants to massage her. That's all he cares about is massaging her, rubbing her down. All he cares about is physical needs. That's all Max cares about. Let's see. I don't think Max cares anything about Tara. He just wants some physical touching and fooling around. But my thing is, I want to know, what is Tara's end game? What does she want from Max? Clearly, Max has no money. He has no money. So she don't want him for money. And clearly he has no sense. So she don't want him because he's a smart guy. I know she's not in love with him or even in like with him. It doesn't seem like that way, because if she was, she wouldn't wait 17 days to call him or to keep in touch with him. So that's the big question for me. What does Tara want from Max? I know what Max wants from Tara. He wants sex. And he probably wants a pretty girl on his arm. But what the heck does Tara want from Max? What? Max tells Tara to turn on her camera so that he can see what she's wearing. See, that's all he cares about is physical. He wants to see what she's wearing. And she tells him that she's been working in the yard all day and she doesn't want him to see her like that. Yeah, I think Tara gained weight and she's insecure about her body. That's what I think it is. So Max tells Tara, my friend thinks you are 400 pounds. She's so insensitive. And she tells him that they can compare bodies later. So they flirt with each other a little bit. And Max asks Tara when can he come for a visit. And Tara tells him to let's just keep it at phone calls for now. So when Max gets off the phone, he's happy. He's grinning from ear to ear because he's heard from Tara. And he's just over the moon. And his friends tell him, you're going to be late for your date. And he says he's canceling that date. He said he wants to focus on Tara. He don't want no distractions. So next we see Max and his friend outside. And they're trying to teach Max how to ride a scooter. And Max just can't do it. So now we know. So then he says, let's just take your car instead of messing with the scooter. So now we know Max doesn't have a place to live and he doesn't have a car. What does Max do with his money? He claims he's a model. He claims he's a porn star, or just a porn person. And he has OnlyFans. So he's getting money. What does he do with his money? Send it to inmates. That's what he does with his money. Anywho, last but not least, Gabby and Chris. We see Gabby in New York City. She meets up with Chris's brother, Steven. I think she's meeting him for the very first time. And Gabby wants to find out if Chris is cheating on her. She wants to find out from Steven if Chris is cheating on her. Gabby asks Steven about Shannon, Chris's ex. And Steven says, as far as he knows, that's Chris's ex. And Gabby told Steven about the voice recording that she got from Shannon. And then we see Steven saying to the camera that he doesn't know if he can trust Gabby. So you know how the producers, they chop things up? Where did that come from? I think they asked him a question and they had him saying that. So that's why you can't believe the things that you hear on here, because they chop scenes up. You'll be watching something and then all of a sudden they'll say somebody on screen will say something and you're wondering where'd that come from. That's because the producer asked them something. The producer wants you to think what they want you to think. So they manipulate the scenes. They'll ask him a question, he'll respond, and then they'll put it in a scene somewhere because they want you to think something that's not happening. So I know that. We all probably know that. And I think that's what happened, because he just says, out of the blue, Steven says to the camera, I don't know Gabby well enough to trust her. So that was put in somewhere, because she didn't ask him nothing about that. She's asking him about Shannon. Anywho. Steven asked her if she is going to be there for Chris. I guess going to be there for Chris when Chris gets out of prison. And Gabby tells him that she loved Chris, and she asks Steven if he promised to promise her that he knows that Chris is not talking to anyone else. And he promises. He said, what I know, he's not talking to anybody else. He says Gabby is the only one Chris is talking to. And I agree with Steven, because why would Chris give her all that money if he was seeing other people? So I believe that Chris is being true to Gabby. I believe it, because I don't understand why he will give her money, all that money. It's not like he gave her $200, $300. He gave her $60,000. So Gabby believes Steven that he thinks that Chris is not seeing anybody else or talking to anybody else. She tells Steven that she feels like his mother doesn't like her. And Steven says his mother just wants to make sure that you have Chris's best interests. And Gabby tells Steven that she's meeting up with the mother and the sister soon. Excuse me. And Steven basically told Gabby to try to get along with them, because they are a part of Chris's life and she'll be a part of Chris's life, so she better try to get along with them. And Gabby told Steven that she loves Chris and she's here for Chris. Steven says we will see Yeah, Stephen says we'll see, and then he tells her to show more and do and talk less. No, to show he wants her to show them that she's really there for Chris, and shut up. She talked too much. She every time she opens her mouth, she disrespects somebody. She needs to stop flapping her mouth. She's very disrespectful with her mouth. And she just needs to make them see that she cares for Chris. And Gabby says she's pissed off. She says she's tired of them questioning her whether or not she loves Chris or if she's going to be there for Chris. She says she's not kissing anybody's ass. And then she'll show them how much she cares for Chris, and then they'll be kissing her ass. This is what she says. I think Gabby is just so self-centered. And I think she needs to grow up. All Gabby cares about is Gabby. Well, that's the end of my review of Love During Lockup. I'll be back next week for another review. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe to my channel. Also, please like, comment, and share my video. Thank you so very, 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 very much for watching. Princess on a Pillow here. Bye.